Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to this speaking session. I am MD Isharifin Hossain today, your lecturer. So, as usual, I try to conduct the Ielts speaking lessons, and today I'm here with you for another Ielts speaking lesson. Firstly, I hope that I'm audible. So. Um, I want replies from you guys. If you can hear me or not, you can write in the chat. In the meantime, I'll talk about today's topic, which is the IELTS Speaking Test Task 2. We have talked a lot about the IELTS Speaking Test Task 1 in the previous classes. We have gone through the rules and regulations of IELTS Speaking Test as a whole. We have gone through the marking criteria or the scoring criteria of the IELTS speaking test, and in the previous classes we have gone through the rules and regulations as well as the tips and the tricks to do well in the IELTS speaking test task 1. So as you already know, there are 3 tasks for the IELTS speaking test. One of them is the IELTS speaking test task 2. So we have already, as we have already been through the IELTS speaking test task 1, we'll be going through the IELTS speaking test task 2 in this class. So we'll be start looking at the rules and regulations, and then we'll be covering some tips and tricks regarding the IELTS speaking test task 2. And in the later part of this sessions regarding the IELTS speaking test, we'll be covering uh, one-to-one classes or one-to-one conversations. So we'll be having more interaction rather than only textual interaction. So we'll be having more interaction in a direct class, hopefully. So then I'll be able to judge you, or you'll be able to work on your speaking skills as well. So thank you, Rukul Mridha, for your input here, and walaikum assalam, Rukul, Iman, Helal, Sami, Fatima, and Shishir. I welcome you all to this class. So let's begin with the topic of today's class, which is the IELTS speaking test task 2. As you already know, I guess from the previous day's discussions, that the IELTS speaking test task 2 is kind of a uninterrupted 2 minute speech. So you have to talk about a particular topic for 2 minutes without any interruption from the examiner. So you have to talk by yourself on a particular topic. So what will be that topic? On which topic you're going to talk for 2 minutes without any interruption? So the topic will be chosen by a lottery. So there will be a lot of topic cards lying in the table of the examiner. You have to choose and pick one of those cards, and those cards will have the topics that you want to talk about for 2 minutes. So you will not see the topics of the card before you pick it. So they'll be hidden. So once you pick the card, just like a raffle draw or just like a lottery, from the bunch of the cards, you have to pick one. Then you can see the topic written in that card. So it's like a lottery. So you don't know. Even the examiner don't know. So even the examiner doesn't know the topic of the uninterrupted speech for 2 minutes. So it will depend on your luck only. So you have to choose one topic, and after that, after picking up that card, you have to talk about 2 minutes for the topic written in the card. So in that card, we call it cue card. In that cue card, there will be questions written as well with the topic. So there will be a topic and some questions. So you have to answer those questions in your 2 minutes speech. So the card will have a topic and some questions regarding that topic as well. You have to answer those questions in your speech as well. So that's the theory of the IELTS speaking test task 2, where you are required to um, talk about 2 minutes, and where you are required to answer some questions regarding one particular topic that is given in your cue card, and it is kind of a lottery. So even the examiner does not know about your topic, because you have to choose it, choose the cue card, choose the topic from a raffle draw system. From bunch of cue cards you have to choose one. So that's the just the basic of the IELTS speaking test task 2. So the main part here, and the main challenge here, is to talk about 2 minutes, is to talk about 2 minutes without any interruption. So it gets hard. Believe me, it gets hard when you want to talk about something for 2 minutes without any interruption. So um, you have to be well prepared. You have to practice a lot, because being grammatically correct, using different range of vocabularies, using a variety of vocabularies for 2 minutes is tough, is hard, and I guess it will need some practicing before going there in the real exam hall. So good morning, soulmate. It's a nice name, isn't it? So it will take some practicing. So I hope that you'll start practicing, and there are some tips or tricks how to do well here, how to practice, how to talk for 2 minutes without any interruption. So the main trick is to practice. That's the main trick, that you want to practice a lot before actually getting into the exam hall. So you have to practice. So there is no shortcut. Um, so being correct for 2 minutes grammatically, using different range of vocabularies for 2 minutes. These are the challenges, and of course you have to talk about that particular topic. You have to answer those questions about that particular topic in your 2 minute speech. So this is also a challenge, because sometimes the topic is very unfamiliar to you. You don't know what to say about the topic. So you need to say a lot of things by creating those. Just create the sentences of the topic. So maybe you don't know anything about the topic, so you have to create, you have to make something on your own about that topic, because you actually don't know, or you do not have any previous experience regarding that topic. So then you have to make your sentences, you have to make up ideas. So these are the things that you have to tackle in real time while you answer this task, while you answer or while you talk about about a topic for 2 minutes without any interruption. So let me show you one example of this I'll speaking test task 2, and it will be just a minute. Can you see the slides? Just let me know. if you can see the slides or not. I hope you can see the slides. So I'm waiting for your reply. As soon as I get any reply, I'll be continuing with this slide. As you can see, I hope you can see the slides. And in the slide, there is an example of a cue card. So think this as a cue card. So you can see the topic and some questions regarding that topic as well. So this is an example. This is a perfect example of a cue card. Thank you, Helal Ahmed. Um, so the topic here. Thank you, everyone, for sending me feedbacks. So here you can see the topic is describe a friend you had in school. So this is a very easy topic. The topic can get more complex, but here the person was lucky because he got an easy topic. But the topics can be more complex, that I can assure you. So this topic is very common. Of course, you'll be very lucky to get if you get this kind of topic. Describe a friend you had in school. So this is the topic and the questions written in the cue card that you have to answer while you go on with your 2 minutes uninterrupted speech. You have to answer these questions: who this friend was, how or why you became friends, what you did together, explain why you remember this person so well. So these are the questions that you want to answer in your 2 minutes uninterrupted speech. Of course, you are allowed to add some more information, to talk about your friend in a different way rather than these questions. You are allowed because you have to talk about 2 minutes, so you have to make some things up rather than these questions. So but in your speech there should be answers of these questions as well. So you have to answer these questions while you try to talk for 2 minutes. So as you can see, this is a very common topic and the questions are very easy, I guess. So first you have to say who this friend was. Maybe you can say that the friend's name is X, and he was my school friend. Um, I met him when I was in class 2. So we started school together in Dhaka, and the friend he used to be a football lover, so we used to play football together. That's how we became friends. So that's the answer of how you became friends. What you did together. So you can say that we played football together and we visited many places near our school. We used to go to the local playgrounds, as well as I used to go to his home and he used to come to mine, and we try to stick together even after school. So when I get any holidays or vacations, we used to visit places together. So we used to roam around in some of the scenically beautiful places like Dhaka Shishu Park, Dhaka Museum. So we went to the museum and the Shishu Park together. So we are the best buddies. And then how to explain why you remember this person so well. I remember this friend so well because he has a special place in my heart. I cannot forget the moments we passed together as school friends. We had created a lot of memories that we can't even forget. I'm sure My friend cannot forget those memories as well. So we used to be together like the best buddies in the world. We used to go to places, we used to play together, and our choices were even same in the school days. So we used to study together and attend the exams together. So we have make we have made the leap of career from school life to college life together. So we have made lot of uh, a lot of sacrifices in our life together. So for these reasons, I think I cannot forget him, because we have gone through a lot together in this life, and I'm still friends with him. So these can be the answer that you want to give regarding these topics. So I'm just talking about an example here. This is not the this is not the perfectly memorable answer. So you should not memorize anything here. That is a crime in the IELTS test. If the examiner can understand that you have memorized any answer, your score will be significantly reduced and deducted. So you will not, or you should not, try to memorize anything here in this IELTS speaking test. So that's one point I want you to focus. So making sentences or making ideas just concurrently. So when you see the topic, you have to make ideas in real time and talk about that topic, because most of the time the topic will be unfamiliar to you. That will be a new topic, and you have to talk about the topic without any prior ideas. So you have to make your ideas in real time. So you have to work concurrently. uh, Here, after you get your cue card, after you get your topic, you will get 1 minute. You'll get 1 minute to get prepared. After that 1 minute, you have to start your 2 minute speech. So in between this 1 minute that you are getting for your preparation, you'll get a pen and a paper where you can write down the keywords that you want to discuss after that 1 minute for your speech. So in that 1 minute, it is a good idea to write some keywords that you want to go through for that particular speech. So because you are getting 1 minute and you have already the questions and already the topic in your hand, maybe think about the answers in a jiffy, in a bit. Just think about the answers of all the questions you want to you want to give. So then write the keywords of that answers. Maybe who this friend was, so write the keyword for that answer. Maybe the friend was your the friend name is Nafis, just write it. Then how and why you became friends. Maybe the answer is football, so write football as keyword. Because in 1 minute you cannot write the whole answers, right? So in 1 minute it is not possible to write a 2 minute speech. In 1 minute, only you can do is to write the keywords that you're going to use while you are answering the questions in your speech. So you can just write down the keywords, so that by seeing that the keywords, you will be able to answer the question. So because when you are continuing your speech, it is tough to make ideas. That's why in that 1 minute preparation time, if you write those keywords in your page or in your script, you can see the keywords while you are continuing your speech, and if you see the keywords, you will remember what to say. So this is an idea that I have used for that 1 minute preparation time in my IELTS speaking test. So that is very important. Using that 1 minute preparation time is very important. So the main thing is that you have to um, you have to pick and choose a card. Uh, you have to choose and pick a card, and then you'll get 1 minute for your preparation, and you'll get 2 minutes for your um, uninterrupted speech. Uh, can you write down in the comment, have you understood? Have you understood the criteria, the criterias for the IELTS speaking test? Have you understood what I have told you till now? Have you understood? Just write in the comment, yes, I have understood the criterias. So you can write in the comments so that I can get a feedback from you guys that you are on the track with me. And till then, uh, Shishir Ahmed is asking me a question. I'm going to appear in the IELTS exam in the end of June. My speaking is moderate level. Okay, your speaking is at moderate level. I guess you have missed the appropriate preposition here in your sentence. Shishir, you have to work on that. How could I improve much better within a short time? So that's a good question. Um, but you're seeing your sentence structures, they're not in the correct formation. For example, how could I improve much better within a short time? You have used past tense. How could, you are referring to a past case scenario, but actually you are asking a question which is about present. So it should be, how can I improve much better? So like much better, those two are like better is already a comparative narration. So better is uh, you know good, better, best. So better is already a comparative, so you should not add much with better. So how can I improve better, or how can I improve within a short time? You can say that, how can I improve significantly within a short time? So that can be your question. So I'm just trying, do not get me wrong, I'm just trying to give you feedback on what you have written so that you can understand your English level. So you are making mistakes, some uh, typical mistakes in your writing. So I think the same mistakes will be reflected in your speaking too. So if you have these mistakes in your speaking, you will not going to get a good score. So being a moderate level speaker takes time. You have to uh, for me, if you want a suggestion, I'll say that at least speak 1 hour with someone from now on. Every day at least speak for one hour in English regarding anything. So you can call a friend and start speaking for at least 1 hour without any break. That can improve your skills a bit, but improving significantly within a short time, it's tough because there is no shortcut, my friend. You cannot improve significantly within 1 or 2 days. Uh, Speaking is something, language as a whole is something that you cannot learn or that you cannot improve within a few days. it will take some time. So I hope, because your speaking test is in June, I hope that you have some time to improve, uh, to level up your score, but improving significantly within just a few days, uh, it seems difficult to me personally. So that will be my answer. So you and Shishir Ahmed is also looking for some people to practice, as he said. Is here anyone who are moderate or advanced level in speaking? Maybe he's looking for someone. So if someone is interested to interact with Shishir for practicing English, you guys can make a group and start practicing, and that will help you as well. Shishir Ahmed said, thanks a lot. You're most welcome, Shishir. That's what my job here is, to give you guys feedback regarding your speaking level. Tasneem, Abdul Rahman, Hilal Ahmed, Fatima, and Fanny, all of you have said that you have understood the lecture till now. Thank you very much for your feedback. So we will continue from this. So the common questions category for the IELTS speaking test task 2, the category of the common questions. So person, object, place, activity, experience. So these are the most common categories of the IELTS speaking test task 2. Person, like who is your favorite person, or who is your favorite friend from school life, whom do you admire most in life. So these are the common topics related to person or object. It can be what is your favorite book. Maybe this is a topic, what is your favorite book, because book is an object. This can be a question related to object category. Then place, tell me about your birthplace. Maybe that can be a topic. Discuss about your birthplace, or discuss about the city you live in. Do you and then activities. What is your hobby? That can be a topic. Uh, what do you like to do most in life? That can be a topic regarding activities. And then experience. These are uh, so tell me the most. Discuss about the most happiest experience of your life, or discuss when you feel weird, or when you feel horror in your life. This can also be a topic. So these are the topic based on the experiences, personal experiences. So these question categories are very common. So you have to think that you are well prepared to talk about this kind of topics in the IELTS speaking test task 2. You're welcome, Shishir. You're welcome, and you can ask as many questions as you want in the chat box regarding or related to IELTS speaking test. So now this slide talks about the 1 minute preparation. So the 1 minute preparation is very important. Before going to the details of this slide, let me ask you whether you have understood the the theme of the IELTS speaking test, or the criteria or the strategies. So 2 minutes for speaking, 1 minute for preparation. So the first thing is, just choose and pick a cue card from a lottery or raffle draw like system. 1 minute for preparation, 2 minutes for the speaking itself, 2 minutes for the uninterrupted speech. So just write down in the comment that you have understood this. You can write lottery, comma, 1 minute preparation, comma, 2 minutes speech. Write like this in the comment box, so that I can understand that you have understood what is the procedures that will be followed in the IELTS speaking test task 2. So write down in the chat box of this YouTube live, that lottery, comma, 1 minute preparation, comma, 2 minutes speech. So that will reflect that you have understood the flow of the IELTS speaking test task 2 that will be used in the examination, or that will be implemented in the IELTS speaking test exam hall by the examiner. So I'm looking forward for your feedback. In the comment box, you can just write lottery, comma, 1 minute preparation, comma, 2 minute speech, so that I can understand that you have understood the flow of the IELTS speaking test task 2. I'm waiting for your answers here in the chat box, and then I'll be start discussing about the 1 minute preparation, how to take the preparation time seriously, or how to make use of this 1 minute preparation time seriously. So in this 1 minute, as you will get one paper and one pen, you have to use this 1 minute very significantly, so that your 2 minutes uninterrupted speech gets a lot better. So the 1 minute preparation is very important, is very significant for your 2 minute speech. I hope that you all will be able to understand the significance of this 1 minute preparation, because it is very, very undervalued. This 1 minute preparation time is very undervalued occasionally. So here, uh, this preparation time, in this preparation time, you are allowed to write anything you want. So you should use this time to get prepared. So Mustaq Ahmed said 1 minute preparation. Tasnim Begum lottery, 1 minute preparation, 2 minute speech. Thank you for the feedbacks. So I'm getting feedbacks, but do not be lazy. Try to do the tasks that you were asked, because these are the very important things. So if you want to prepare yourself for the IELTS, you have to be serious and reflect the seriousness in your activities. So this is very important, to reflect uh, in your activities that you are serious. So um, thank you, Shaharia. Shaharia said, got it. All right, very precise. So we have a tendency not to follow instructions. Yeah, um, I do not have any complaints about that, because we are like this. We uh, love to break instructions, and we love to not follow the instructions. So that's human nature. No worries. Let me go through the 1 minute preparation tips one by one. So a simple list is probably faster and easier than a diagram or mind map. So you have to make a list of keywords rather than drawing something up. So yeah, that I guess I have already told you this. You have to make you have to write some keywords, and then you need to decide on your topic as quickly as possible, then spend most of your time making notes. So as soon as you know that you know your topic, you should decide on which way you are going. For example, when you get this topic of describe a friend you had in school, you have to quickly decide on which friend you're going to talk about, or are you making a friend up, or you're talking about a real friend. You have to decide. Then you have to make it, after making that quick decision, you need to write the notes down, and then try to write at least one key idea for each part of the question that That's what I am talking about. So one key idea for each part of the question. So you'll get many questions. So for answering those questions, just write one key idea for the answer of that question, so that if you see that keyword, you will remember the whole answer of the question. So writing down the keywords for the answer is very important. So don't write sentences and don't waste time erasing mistakes. So you don't have to erase anything from there, and you should not write complete sentences, because 1 minute is a very short time, just 60 seconds. So you should not waste your time. Just remember this. Many people I saw, they write sentences, so that's a complete waste of time in this 1 minute preparation. So you should write just the keywords, not full sentences, so that you can understand, or so that you can remember what to tell when you see the keywords. So the keywords should contain the answers of the questions that were asked in the topic cue card. Try to use a topic you have already prepared. So if your topic is common, so maybe you have some preparation, so try to use that pathway you have used earlier. Maybe you have already talked about a friend in school. Try to use that common path, or try to use that common answers. Do not memorize, just try to go through that common knowledge you have already been through, or try to imitate the common experience that you already had in your previous tests or in your practicing at home. um, so here, uh, in the 1 minute preparation, you just forget about the grammar, because you have 1 minute. You are just writing the keywords. Just write the keywords. Because in that script, or your paper, nobody is going to see that paper. That's just the paper is only for your preparation. So you just have to write the keywords. Do not worry about grammars or anything else there. You have just 1 minute. Just write the keywords in the paper. Do not worry about anything else. So that's the tips for preparing for the 1 minute only. So here in the 1 minute preparation, just write the keywords without worrying about anything else. Do not write whole sentences. Try to write keywords for each of the answers, or each of the questions that will be asked in the cue card. So that's how you can prepare yourself uh, for the 2 minutes speech. Uh, so here you can see also another question. Describe a restaurant that you enjoyed going to. So you can see the questions in black ink, where the restaurant was, why you choose this restaurant, what type of food you ate in this restaurant, why you enjoyed eating in this restaurant. So one thing I need to tell, or one thing I need to notify you guys, is that most of the times the topic or the questions will be related to past tense. Look at the questions here. It is related to past tense because of past case scenarios. So you have to use past tense in most of your answers. So just remember this. Using past tense is very necessary here. If you use present tense while answering this question, that will be not be related, because the questions are already in past tense. So just keep focus on the tense of the question, or the tense of the topic itself. So trying to keep focus is very very necessary. Where the restaurant was. So this is the first question. So you can say the name, location, city, area, and street of the restaurant. So maybe the restaurant was in the Banani area of Dhaka city. You can say that. Why you choose this restaurant? You can say about the type of the food, location, decoration, price, stuff, atmosphere, type of people who go there. So you can discuss a lot of things here because you have 2 minutes. So try to use as much as sentences as possible in this answer. Why you choose this restaurant? You can say that I am a food lover or I am a biryani lover, so I have choose this restaurant because uh, it has a hype of making special biryanis all over the Dhaka cities from my childhood. So I choose this restaurant and because of the location as well. It is near to my home, and the price of the biryani of this restaurant um, is a I guess is decent. So you can say this kind of thing. And uh, type of people who go there, you can say that mainly younger people um, are considered to be the customers of this restaurant. So as I'm also very young, I love to see young people around me. That's why I went to that restaurant. So look at my sentences, mainly the tense. I'm trying to use present tense when I'm talking about the generic things, and past tense when I uh, particularly talk about going to that restaurant. So you have to make use of tenses here. So when you talk about something generic that the restaurant is very famous, so you can use present tense because the restaurant is very famous even now. You can of course use present tense, but when you are particularly talking about your occurrence, your particular occurrence of going to that restaurant, you have to use past tense. So making use of present tense and past tense, or making the mixture of the tenses here, is very important, and you should know how to mix the tenses here. So the decoration of the restaurant, maybe you can say that it looked very nice to me when I get there. I love the atmosphere and the decoration of the restaurant, because now you're using past tense because you're particularly talking about your occurrence of visiting the restaurant. So you have to remember these things because the tense is very important. What type of food you ate in this restaurant? Now you can say that, as I have already told you, I am a biryani lover, so there is no way of eating other food in a restaurant. So I ate biryani in that restaurant. So first, you're starting with your common interest, and you're using present tense. And then when you're talking about your occurrence of visiting that restaurant, you're talking in past tense. So these are the things that you need to consider when you're giving your speech. So we can make mistakes. I make mistake, you make mistake. So we can make mistakes, even one or two mistakes in tense. uh, Sometimes it can be ignored, but as a whole you cannot be grammatically incorrect all the time. So one or two mistakes can be ignored, in my opinion. You'll not get a 9 in speaking by doing even one mistake. That's correct. But if you're just willing to get I guess a band score above 7 or 6.5 or even 8, you are allowed to make a few mistakes. Why you enjoyed eating in this restaurant? Um your food is cooked well, good presentation of food, atmosphere, background music, friendly crowd, popular place. Any, you can pick and choose any of these topics for answering your answering this question, maybe you can say that um, you love the food, the taste of the food, because they give more meat in the food, and the presentation of the food was very good. When you ate the food, you could take a picture before eating the food and post it in the Instagram or Facebook, and you loved it because the food looked so delicious and the pictures were very good. So when you are talking about that particular instance of your visit, you are using past tense. When you are talking about the generic things about the restaurant or yourself, your own interest, you can use present tense. So that's the point I want to make here. Uh, and do not talk, please do not talk or do not end your speech before 2 minutes. So how can you understand the time? You have your watch, but you can also just take a look at the examiner. That's the best technique to understand when to end. So when you are talking, do not end before the examiner tells you to do so. So when the 2 minutes will be passed, the examiner will himself or herself will instruct you to stop. When he is instructing you to stop, that's a good sign that you have already passed 2 minutes. So that's the thing you have to follow as well. Do not take a look at the clock. That's not necessary. Just uh, just go through your speech, and whenever the examiner tells you to stop like this, or maybe he will tell you to stop himself or herself, that it's done, the time is up. He'll say something like this, then stop. Do not stop before that. So that's a good tip and technique that I want you guys to follow. So do not just focus on the clock. Continue his speech as long as possible till your examiner tells you to stop, or just show you this sign that stop. This is a common general sign. So that's the technique you want to follow in the exam hall. So here, this is another question, I guess. Describe a teacher who has influenced you in your education. So these are the questions: where you met them, maybe name of the school, which class were you in, and then what subject they taught, science, history, or you can say math. So you have to decide. Now look, here is a, I guess, a dilemma. Which dilemma is it? Which type of dilemma is it? Are you guys familiar with the word dilemma? Okay, just let me ask you this question, because to check whether you are following me or not. Do you guys know about the meaning of the word dilemma? Dilemma? Do you guys know about this word dilemma? Okay, the slide is very clear, but maybe there is something going on with your internet. So just answer this. Do you know the meaning of dilemma? So I just want your answers here. Do you know the meaning of dilemma? And I'm looking forward for your answer before going before discussing about this topic, or before telling something about this topic. Let's look at your answers, because I'm just trying to check whether you are following me or not, or whether you are feeling sleepy or not. Okay, hesitation. Yeah, that can be one meaning of dilemma. Yeah, you are quite correct, Tasneem, regarding the meaning of dilemma. All right. So dilemma is something when you are not being able to decide on anything. So you are having a dilemma. So you are having a confusion for deciding anything. So here, describe a teacher who has influenced you in your education. So are you going to talk about a real life teacher, or you are going to make someone up? That's on you. So my suggestion is, you'll just no, dilemma is not crucial. No, Mustaq, you're wrong. Sorry. Okay, so my suggestion is that you should make a person up when you're talking about a particular occurrence, a particular experience, or a particular person, or a particular place. You should make something up that is more convenient for you. So because when you are talking from real life experience, you may feel that you are out of sentences because there is nothing to tell more. But if you make someone up or make something up from the very beginning, because you're making that idea or that person up, that means you're making sentences from the very beginning. So you're not uh, using the real life experience. You're making things up from the very beginning. So that will be more convenient, because if you talk about a real life experience or a real life person, maybe you'll get out of ideas what to tell now, because then you have to make things up. Yes, then you can also make things up, but if you start making things up from the very beginning, it will be easier for you to make all the question to make all the answers of the questions. So my suggestion will be, talks make someone up from the very beginning, or make some experience up from the very beginning for answering this type of questions. So do not talk about a real life person. That's only my opinion, but making something up is very easier from the very beginning. But if you want to make some things when you are at the middle of your speech, that will be difficult. So in my opinion, make something up from the very beginning. Do not talk about real life person if that is possible, but it depends on you. I am not telling that you cannot get a good score if you talk about real life experience or real life person. Yes, you can, you may get a very good band score, but that's one of the techniques I want to just suggest you. Whether you will embrace that technique or not, it depends on you. So my suggestion will be making things, scenarios, or experience or person up before answering, because making a whole thing up from the beginning is easier than making things up from the middle of the speech. So that is that is one of my suggestions. So you can embrace it or not. It's up to you. All right. So describe a teacher who has influenced you in your education. You can say that I am very influenced by a teacher, by a professor from my university who used to taught computer science, and he was very profound in teaching programming of computer science. So that's the what subject they taught. That's the answer. What was special about them? You can say that he was a very strict um, as a university lecturer, but he had very eminent ideas about his lectures, about his topic, and he used the methodologies, the best methodologies of teaching, and he was even very friendly when he used to taught when he used to teach us. He was very friendly. His approach was very decent, and was very comfortable to his students. That's why I loved him as a teacher, because I had the liberty to go in front of him and clear my confusions, get clarification about some topics. So whenever I had any confusion, I used to uh, I used to go in front of him after the class, and I tried to get clarification about my confusions. He was a very easygoing person, and then why this person influenced you so much. You can say that he had achieved a lot in his life. He was very regular person with a good ethical sense of view. So his life practices and his friendlier approach to the students influenced me a lot to a lot in my life, and I have learned the ethical approaches and the approaches to be kind from him, and I still practice the approaches taught by him in my real life. You can say something like this in your speech. So maybe you're making the person up. Maybe there is no one you like this much. Maybe you're making the whole thing up. It doesn't matter. That does matter is your English, is your ideas here, that you're giving answers. So your answers matters here. So if you decide to make someone up, make it, no problem. But you need to generate ideas. You need to talk for 2 minutes without any interruption, which is very necessary. So have you understood how to make ideas? So just write understood in the comment box. Just write understood in the comment box. That will be uh, a good feedback for me. So um, that is like the last topic I want to discuss. Describe a situation when you received some useful advice. You should say what the situation was, who gave you the advice, what the advice was, explain how this advice was useful to you. So this is about an experience of your life. So if you get this topic, maybe in your life you have never came across this kind of situation. Maybe in your life you have never came across this kind of situation. So you have to make things up here, my friend. There is no other options. If you do not came across this particular situation when you have received some useful advice in your life, you have to make things up. So you have to make things up from the very beginning of answering the questions. So you can say that um, what the situation was. So I'm already making things up. So you can say that um, I received advice about getting a good career, or you can say that I have received advice, or I received advice before my admission test into the universities, or you can say that I received advice from my father before going to the before starting my college life. So you can say anything. You can say anything, but choosing what to say is very important. You have to promptly choose what to say in which topic you are going to talk about. And then who gave you the advice? You can say your father, your friend, or a teacher have given you the advice that you should not or you can say you should make the best use of time. So that's the advice. Whatever the advice was, your father gave you the advice that you should make the best use of time whenever it is possible. Do not waste time. Maybe that's the advice. um, or you can say that my teacher said being ethical is very important. You can say that my school teacher taught me that being honest and being ethical in every situation is very important. So I had to be ethical and honest in every phase of my life. You can say that as the advice, and explain how this advice was useful to you. Now, my friend, is the time that you want to make use of your creativity. You have to explain how this advice was useful to you. In my case, I had to use creativity. So you also have to make things up here. for answering this question. Like explain how this advice was useful to you. You can make up a scenario that yes, because my teacher told me to be honest. I am trying to be an honest person till now, and because of my honesty, I have lost some insignificant things of my life, but I have received many significant achievements in my life for my honesty. Uh, currently I'm working in an organization, and as a manager, and for my honesty I was praised many times by my upper authorities, by my higher authorities, and I was promoted as a senior manager because the higher authority was impressed by observing my honesty in their business. So that's one of the best gifts I have received uh, in return of my honesty. So as people say that honesty is the best policy, so my promotion proves uh, this special advice that you have to be honest in every phase of life. And I think I'll get more success in my life if I follow honesty at every phases of my life. You can say that you can make things up, no problem. Even if you are not a senior manager, even if you didn't get any promotion, you can say that. So that was my point, that uh, if you there will be some topic in the IELTS speaking test that you do not have any idea, or you do not have any real life experience till now, but you have to make things up. So uh, do not hesitate while making things up, because I'm again telling you, this is not being dishonest. This is not the case of being dishonest, because the examiner also know this is a test of your English language. This is a test of your English language. You're not being testified for your honesty or your truthfulness, because they also know the topics are not very familiar. The topics can be unfamiliar to you, but they're only testing your English language ability. What are you doing even if you do not get anything familiar? What is your response? They are trying to see that what is your English creativity skill. They're trying to testify that only. So uh, being not truthful here is not a problem, because the examiners also know this fact, and they are not expecting you to be truthful here. This is not a court. So I'm not just encouraging uh, dishonesty here, I guess. I'm just telling you uh, the strategies or techniques, or in the exam hall of the speaking test, what are they expecting. So I'm just telling you that they're expecting you to be creative. So do not get me wrong, I'm just telling you the truth of the speaking test. They also expect you to you to be creative. So that's the case. So you can be creative here. Do not hesitate while being creative. So that's the point that I want to discuss, that I wanted to discuss, and I guess I have gone through today's class already. So um, thank you Abdul Rahman, thank you Tasneem, thank you Mustaq. Uh, so just write in the comment box, how have you liked today's lecture? Was it good or bad? Just try to give me some feedback here. You can give me some feedbacks if you want. I'm looking for your feedback about today's class. Do you want to know something? Any questions? If you have any questions, just write in the comment box as well. So I have given you homework in the previous week. I have given you some homework in the previous week. So have you presented yourself with the homework in the Facebook? So I haven't seen much of your your replies regarding the previous class. So you are not submitting your homework. So that's a bad thing. You should start submitting your homework as soon as possible. So today's homework is that you should make an uninterrupted speech regarding any topic you like for 2 minutes. So that's your homework. Make an uninterrupted speech regarding any topic of your choice and post that video in the Facebook group so that I can see and give you some feedbacks in the next class. Uh, so are you facing difficulties while uh, in the class because of my language, because of the medium of instruction of this class is English? So maybe in today's class I have not used any Bangla words. Are you facing any difficulties for that? Um, if you're facing any difficulties for that, I'm trying to um, use easier words, as easier words as possible in this lecture. I'm not getting into the complex English words while I'm giving the lecture here. I'm trying to be easy to. I'm trying to be more understanding. So I guess you can understand me, right? Is there any problem while understanding my English? Uh, is it too difficult for you? I'm using actually basic level English here. So it should be all right to you, but if you are facing any difficulties, you can also write that, no, I'm facing difficulties while understanding your English lecture. Okay, sometimes you're getting complications while understanding my language, all right? So if you do not understand one particular sentence, you can just write it, and I'll try to translate. I'll try to tell Bangla uh, of that particular sentence. So if you have any confusions, you can just write in the chat box of the YouTube. I can give you the Bangla for that if you want. So that's one thing we can work on, as of course. Is there any other questions? If you have any other questions, you can write down in the comment box, and I'm ready to answer them. Otherwise, I'll end today's session. It was a great session with you guys. You were very responsive in the chat box, and I'm hoping to take the more engaging class where I will get to talk with you guys directly. So the last few classes will be taken, I guess, using Zoom, where you will directly participate, not in the YouTube, but in the Zoom, where we'll get to talk, and where I can get you real feedbacks and real speaking, where I'll get to understand or listen to your real speaking. So I'm waiting for those classes as well. After finishing the topics here, we'll get a move on to those classes, I guess. So Abdul Rahman said, sir, I have just one problem. আমি তাড়াতাড়ি word think করতে পারি না. So what I do? Okay, it's a mixture of Bangla and English. Nice. আমি তাড়াতাড়ি word think করতে পারি না। আচ্ছা, আপনি খুব তাড়াতাড়ি আহ শব্দগুলো চিন্তা করতে পারেন না, এটা কিন্তু শুধুমাত্র আপনার ক্ষেত্রে না, এটা আমার মনে হয় অনেক মানুষই একই সমস্যার মধ্যে দিয়ে যায়, যে তারা যখন আইএলটিএস পরীক্ষাটা দেয়, তাদের প্রধান সমস্যা থাকে, তারা যখন স্পিকিং টেস্টটা দেয়, তখন তারা খুব তাড়াতাড়ি শব্দ বানাতে পারে না। এইটার একমাত্র সমাধান আমি বলবো এটার একমাত্র সমাধান হচ্ছে আপনার আহ, বেশি বেশি করে ইংরেজি বলা। এটা আমি মনে করি মানে এখানে কোনো আহ, ছোট বা একেবারে বলে না যে শর্টকাট, এখানে কোনো শর্টকাট নাই। তো আপনার যেটা করতে হবে সেটা হচ্ছে যে আপনার অনেক বেশি পরিমাণে ইংরেজি বলার চেষ্টা করতে হবে এবং ইংরেজি শুনতে হবে। সেটা হতে পারে মুভি দেখা, সেটা হতে পারে নিউজ দেখা। আহ, এভাবে আমার মনে হয় যে আপনি যদি ফ্যামিলিয়ার হন, মানে নিজেকে পরিচিত করে ফেলেন ইংরেজি ভাষাটার সাথে, মুভি দেখার মাধ্যমে, খবর দেখার মাধ্যমে, আমার মনে হয় যে তখন সেই খবর বা ছায়াছবিতে যেই শব্দগুলো উচ্চারিত হবে বারবার আপনার সামনে, সেই শব্দগুলো আপনার মনে গেঁথে যাবে। এবং আপনি যখন ইংরেজি বলার অভ্যাস করে ফেলবেন, প্রতিদিন অন্তত 1 ঘন্টা যদি আপনি ইংরেজি চর্চা করেন, তখন যেটা হবে যে আপনার ওই শব্দগুলো আপনি আপনার প্রাত্যহিক জীবনেও কাজে লাগাবেন। এই চর্চাটা যখন হয়ে যাবে, তখন আপনি এমনিতেই তখন আপনি এমনিতেই নতুন নতুন শব্দ প্রয়োগ করতে পারবেন, যখন আপনার প্রয়োজন হবে নতুন নতুন ইংরেজি শব্দ প্রয়োগ করতে পারবেন আপনার জীবনে। তো চর্চার কোনো বিকল্প নাই। there is no shortcut of learning a language. There is no shortcut. I can assure you that. আপনি চর্চা করে যান। আমি যেভাবে বলেছি, প্রতিদিন অন্তত 1 ঘন্টা যদি আপনি ইংরেজিতে কথা বলার চেষ্টা করেন, আপনি যদি ইংরেজি খবর বা ছায়াছবি দেখেন, আহ ইভেন সেটা হতে পারে কোনো, শুধু ছায়াছবি দেখতে বলছি না আমি, সেটা হতে পারে ইউটিউবে কোনো আহ আলাপচারিতা, ইংরেজিতে কোনো আলাপচারিতা, যে কোনো বিষয়, আপনার পছন্দের কোনো বিষয় নিয়ে আলাপচারিতা হতে পারে। এই জিনিসগুলো যদি আপনি প্রতিদিন দেখেন এবং একই সাথে আপনি প্রতিদিন 1 ঘন্টা ইংরেজি চর্চা করেন, ইংরেজি বলা চর্চা করেন, তাহলে আপনার শব্দ বানানোর যেই প্রবণতা বা ক্ষমতা, সেটা উন্নতি হবে। এটা আমি আহ অবশ্যই 100 ভাগ নিশ্চয়তার সাথে বলতে পারি, ইনশাআল্লাহ। আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ আব্দুর রহমান ফর আস্কিং দিস কোশ্চেন। So I hope there is no other question. So I'm taking my leave here.